You know, we're
It's a multi-purpose word.
yeah, sure enough is. Hi everybody, welcome to the Smark Avengers. My name is Corey, and with me is Dylan and John. How's it going, fellas?
Was that any better than the first one?
I feel like,
Definitely
well,
not, no.
we didn't associate John with another. Yeah, we didn't bring John into it in a weird way. So, not to say
All
that there
right.
being a third mystery way is much of a step up, but it's still a step up.
I feel like erasing John's heritage is kind of racist, but sure, let's do it.
That's the beauty of John. I mean, it's sort of like I remember like what was it? Somebody said like the beauty of Spider-Man is because the costume covers up everything. Spider-Man could be anyone. John could be anyone.
Yeah. See, this is great.
Exactly.
Because of what I just said, people are gonna be like, "What? What did they say about John's heritage?" Well, you'll never know.
Because we don't know.
Well, we do.
I don't.
I already said it.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Short-term
But
memory.
the listeners don't know because we're gonna cut that bit out, so they don't know.
Yeah.
Save it for the blooper reel.
We know. We know.
We know. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing?
Very good.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear.
Mm.
So, we have been enjoying some of the hits recently, so to speak. We've did another series of auctions and roulette spins. We did another slideshow presentation not that long ago. And today we're going to revisit another concept of the show that we have enjoyed in the past, which is we're going to attempt to kill a character. In the past, we have attempted to and maybe successfully terminated the existence of Aquaman, of Wolverine, of the Flash, and Magneto, and Lobo. So,
Yeah.
by process of flipping back and forth between the big two, it's now time to do a Marvel character. And as such, it's a character that we have found ourselves talking about way more often than we care to at times. And this one was a bit of a special request from Dylan. So at first, I thought we were just going to be doing the symbiotes as a whole, but we're going to narrow it down. And today, John and Dylan, you have been tasked with terminating the existence of Venom. Now, the question that I have for you is it a specific Venom, or is it just the Venom symbiote? Because, like, how you would approach the Peter Parker Black Suit Spider-Man might be different than how you approach Eddie Brock, or our friend MacDonald Gargan, or Flash Thompson, or any of the other unfortunate souls who have been a user of the Venom symbiote. So I guess that's the first question I'm going to ask you guys specifically. When you went into this preparation for this, was there a particular Venom you had in mind?
I would hope we were both thinking about Eddie Brock.
Yeah, that was my line of thinking, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because again, like I said, different Venoms, different approaches, probably. So the approach that you have is you're going to exterminate and remove from this earth Edward James Brockington, which I assume is what Brock is short for. People shorten their last names, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Anyway, yes, Eddie Brock, we're going to exterminate the existence of, just in time for him to get the Venom symbiote back. We're going to take him right the fuck back out. So, that being said, in tradition, I usually take the first part of this to go over the strengths and weaknesses of the symbiote, or of the character that we're attempting to kill, and potentially increase the difficulty of your plans. Very famously, we were about 45 minutes into talking about various flashes before we sufficiently broke.
I think before we begged you to stop talking about the Flash.
Yeah.
It just kept going. It was just so many.
Well, every Flash had different powers, including, I still think my favorite one was like he could make his brain faster so he could remember things he'd forgotten. That was like one of my favorite weird ones.
That's just called memory.
Yeah. I don't know how you would I don't know how you quantify that, or how you discover you have that knowledge, or that's somehow any different from just remembering something. I made my brain speed up and I remembered where I put my keys.
Oh, I remember stuff I've forgotten. That happens to people all the time.
It's not a
The
power.
fuck? Talk about. Yeah. Or is it? Maybe we're all the Flash.
Maybe we're all the Flash inside of us a little bit.
A little bit.
We're all touched by the Speed Force.
All right.
Anyway, yes. So, unless you guys have any questions that you would like to discuss now, I am going to go over the traditional strengths of the symbiote.
Go for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, symbiotes empower the natural abilities of a host to the point where they far exceed that of normal members of the host species. These abilities include superhuman strength, speed, endurance, agility, a healing factor, and intelligence. They enhance other natural attributes as well. The symbiote also has genetic memory, are able to recall information from previous hosts. So a wealth of knowledge it can always draw upon that only gets more and more diverse as it takes on new hosts. The ability to negate damage caused by terminal illnesses and permanent injuries, but not actually heal it. For example, Eddie Brock was able to survive indefinitely with terminal cancer, and Scott Washington, who I'm not familiar with this character, was able to walk despite being paraplegic. Who is Scott
Who is
Washington
Scott
by chance?
Washington?
Oh, he
I
was
have no idea.
he was a symbiote. He had a symbiote called Hybrid, and he appeared in New Warriors number 21 in March of 1992 by Fabian Nicieza and Mark Bagley. The hybrid symbiote first appeared in Venom Along Came a Spider number 1 in January of 1996. So, there you go. Scott Washington was hybrid. His character design looks terrible. He looks like a tick more than anything else.
Okay.
Not the tick, though. He's red instead of blue.
No.
Hmm.
So we also saw that with Flash Thompson, having being a double amputee, being able to walk and whatnot. Symbiotes can
Carnage with his other fucking lower half, right?
yeah, with his entire lower half being gone, which got fixed because someone cloned Cletus Cassidy for reasons.
It's garbage.
Okay. So symbiotes can expand to any size as long as they have something to grow on, such as a host or an object. Symbiotes can get inside of small areas, such as electric wires, and the inside of cars, and completely disable them. The symbiote also reacts to the thoughts and will of the host. When Spider-Man was originally selected by the Venom symbiote, he had been thinking about Spider-Woman's costume in Secret Wars. The symbiote acted on this and formed a similar costume, the one seen on him and Venom. So that's a factoid I didn't know, that basically the reason that the black suit Spider-Man looked like that and Venom has his particular look is envy of how cool Julia Carpenter looked.
Right. So why do all the other Venoms look like Venom?
They're all jealous of how cool Venom looked.
Not that cool.
So the following functions have been demonstrated from various hosts: the ability to form fangs or simple bladed weapons out of their limbs, the ability to form tendrils from their body, the ability to project the surface of the symbiote to attack at a distance, so basically like extend parts of themselves at extreme lengths, kind of like a Mr. Fantastic ability, the ability to shapeshift from mimicking clothing up to and including complete change of appearance, regardless to the host's actual stature and bodily dimensions, as the symbiotes are living tesseracts. The ability to stick to walls, which was adapted from Spider-Man. The ability to produce toxins and venoms, such as the toxin full bite venom delivered to the Sandman. The ability to produce webbing from its own mass, which was also adapted from Spider-Man. The Venom symbiote also has emphatic abilities and is able to project desires and needs into the thoughts of its host or potential hosts. This ability can aid Venom in detecting the truth from those he interrogates. They can sense the presence of other beings within a certain distance. The symbiote's bonding protects the host from Ghost Rider's penance stare, which is a throwback to a conversation John and I had last week about how the penance stare is a completely neutered thing. Venom and its descendants all possess the ability to bypass the spider sense. Because the original symbiote was attached to Peter first, it took his genetic material and spider powers. This means that the symbiote attacking Peter can essentially be Peter attacking himself, which wouldn't set off his spider sense. During the Clone Saga, this became complicated, as Venom did set off Ben Reilly's spider sense, but Carnage didn't. Makes sense out of that. Probably bad editing. probably a bad editor on that
There
one.
was a lot of that going on in the
In the
Clone
90s.
Saga.
We have, by the way, we have I believe it's a 1 or 2 part series on the Clone Saga from about 2 years ago, I want to say. Look into the archive on that one. Dylan and John really did a thorough rundown of the Clone Saga and all the various ways
I don't
it was
even
kind
know
of
if we
broken.
did it that thoroughly. There's probably loads of shit we missed.
Oh
There,
yeah, 100%.
you talked about several characters I had no fucking clue I'd ever heard of before. So, I mean, that doesn't seem like it was slapdash to me, but okay. So,
I remember being very drunk for that.
fair. The ability to
Yeah.
create storage portals inside of them. This created easy access to Peter's camera, so they could make little pocket holes and voids.
Oh yeah.
Each symbiote has its own unique ability, such as Carnage being able to see from every direction of his body. Weird. How do you control that?
That's not what.
Yeah. Anyway, in some realities, Venom's symbiote has been shown to be able to replicate itself. So, those are the strengths of the symbiotes. Anything there that was covered that you were not aware of?
Well, Carnage been able to see stuff from his ass or whatever. It didn't
Yeah, when did that
come
come up?
That's unusual.
Well,
Where
thank
did
God
you
you
get
Is he
guys
this?
bragging about it?
Yeah, thank God you guys aren't going to try to kill Carnage, because, you know, how are you going to sneak up on a man who can see you through his hole? Yep. Just leave that awkward silence there.
I'll leave that there, I think.
Yep, we're just
Yep.
going to leave that right there. But yeah, so any aside from Carnage's ability to see from every dimension of his body, long or short, anything new there that you were not aware of?
Nothing that would impact this, I don't think.
No.
Is there a particular reason why, like, every Venom, aside from Peter and Flash Thompson, is like big, hulking, drooling, toothy, giant tongue? Do you think it has to do with, like, the nature of the person who's wielding it?
I think that was part of it. Like the symbiote was supposed to be attracted to like the anger of Eddie Brock. It wanted to bring out that evil side of Peter Parker and it couldn't. So when it found Eddie Brock, who was very angry and very alone, um, that manifested physically into like a monstrous visage. And something similar with McDonald Gargan, where like he was kind of down in his luck and he was very angry. He's already like mentally unstable. So I think getting the Venom symbiote, the symbiote understood his frustrations and his anger and just manifested that. I would imagine that's why those two did. And the implication is that Spider-Man and Flash Thompson have more of a control over their own mental faculties.
I thought as well that maybe Flash had some sort of implant or something in the symbiote, which kind of kept it under control a bit more. And I think that's why
You had a bit of a kill switch.
when yeah, and McDonald Gargan when he was in the Dark Avengers, where he was basically playing the Spider-Man version, he had something put in similarly where it was like kind of reducing the size of it, so he just looked like Spider-Man.
Yep, that is true. That's the answer. They're angry, but also microchips.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, that being said, would you like... Now, this is like the first, because notoriously, when we've done this, we have tried to find characters that would be difficult to kill. In the sense that, like, Wolverine's healing factor, Lobo's healing factor, Magneto's endless supply of electromagnetic force fields that he could just put around himself. The Flash being multiple powers that undoes shit, and Aquaman's magic water hand. So, you know. This is the first time that we've had a character that has had very well-established weaknesses. So, like, this would be the equivalent of, like, all right, we're going to do a How to Kill Superman, and it's, like, kryptonite. Going to be right out the gate, you know? But, that being said, there you go. Would you like to discuss the weaknesses of the Marvel symbiotes?
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
So symbiotes are naturally weakened by sound waves and intense heat. Additionally, in some stories and games, mostly mentioned in the 2000 Spider-Man game, they're also weakened by magnesium. That's I've never heard that before. Magnesium is a
Nope.
pill that you could take to help you sleep better. I know for sure that's a use for it. It could also apparently injure the symbiote. So there you go. However, as each new symbiote has spawned a child, a natural evolution seems to not only increase their strengths but also reduce their weaknesses, aka comic book storytelling, where we have to keep increasing the difficulty because they've already beaten the thing before. Even already existing symbiotes can mutate and develop these resistances. Still, there has not been an invulnerable symbiote in mainstream continuity because the newest breeds can be harmed by incredible amounts of sonic waves and heat. Also, in the mainstream Marvel universe, symbiotes are vulnerable to heat produced by high voltage electricity. There are other weaknesses as well. Iron Man managed to create an antidote formula that could destroy a symbiote. Which should be noted that these were actually just a virus-like biological organism created by Doctor Doom, originally based on the Venom symbiote, and were specifically made as a bioweapon. With Venom and Carnage, authorities have been able to keep the symbiotes in check with chemical inhibitors. The criminal Styx nearly killed the Venom symbiote with his lethal touch. Whether a symbiote can mutate and reduce the effects of these weaknesses is unknown, although Carnage claims to have developed invulnerability to sonics. Also, when a symbiote bonded with Wolverine, it was pushed out by his advanced healing factor, allowing Wolverine's healing factor, although Wolverine's healing factor had no use when he was bonded to a clone of the Venom symbiote. I don't know how that would work, but okay. It doesn't work. It works against the real thing, but not against a clone of the real thing. Noted.
This is why we gotta kill them all. Get rid of them.
In some incarnations, the symbiote is depicted as requiring a certain chemical to stay sane and healthy, which has been found to be in abundantly in two sources: human brain tissue and chocolate. Two things frequently go together: human brain tissue and chocolate.
I eat them together.
Thus, the host is forced to steal/buy large amounts of chocolate or become an unwilling cannibal who devours the brains of those he kills. This peculiar trait has only been witnessed in the Venom symbiote, however. Both Carnage and Toxin have threatened their enemies with aspirations to eat their brains, as well as other body parts. When Toxin teamed with Spider-Man and Black Cat, he struggled to keep himself together, telling Spider-Man that he was only joking about eating robbers' brains. On at least one occasion, Spider-Man was able to exhaust the symbiote by taking advantage of the fact that it made its webbing out of itself. After the symbiote had already used a great deal of webbing to bind himself to a bell, Spider-Man forced the symbiote to use even further webbing so that it would exhaust itself like blood dripping from a wound. Although the sheer amount of webbing that the symbiote would need to use for this weakness to be exploited makes its use in a fight limited. So, those are the established weaknesses of the symbiotes. We have sonic waves, we have intense heat, we have a dependency on chocolate and or human brains. We have magnesium. We have a Iron Man secret potion. We have advanced healing factors. But they aren't good against clones of them. Just the main one. We have electricity. We have overexertion. We have chemical inhibitors, which they didn't clarify what any of that meant. And was there anything that I'm missing out on that?
Probably. There's probably some other thing.
Okay. So what I'm saying is that the symbiotes do have weaknesses, and before we started recording and you joined the call, Dylan, I was talking to John. I was like, this one feels a little weird because we've not had a character in one of these episodes where they had such well-established weaknesses. And John very astutely pointed out that yes, these are established weaknesses, but they have never been killed by them. So that is something to consider.
Yep.
Any questions, though, about any of these weaknesses or thoughts or comments?
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the tradition of the show, and this is me just going based off of past, and if it's not the same this time, by all means, please tell me. Dylan, you normally have like a series of potential ideas, and John has one very big elaborate idea. Is that the case this time around?
Oh yes, very much so.
Okay. So also in traditional style, Dylan would go first. because you would say that your ideas are a lot of them aren't that great. And then
Yes.
and then John would go last with his larger explanation. So,
Yes.
is it safe to say that is the route that we're going to take in this particular episode?
I believe so.
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Well, if that's the case, Dylan, by all means, grab the list of Dylan, the list of Captain Explodey, and start to read through the 1001 ways you're going to kill the Venom symbiote.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I wrote this list with my new Hello Kitty pen. Isn't it adorable? It
Yes.
little spins around.
Oh, that's
Look,
cute.
it
oh
spins.
wow.
Up and down. Oh, it's spinning around. So I just wanted to show that off. If you listen to this on Spotify, go watch it on YouTube because you're gonna see something incredible. And you'll see it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or all the other ones we're like on every streaming platform, by the way. I feel like we specifically call it Spotify the most, but we are on all of them.
Well,
iHeartRadio.
Nobody listens to that shit.
We
Yeah.
were on something called Zune or something like that recently. I saw.
Nobody's listening to us on Spotify, so
You'd
they're
be
definitely
surprised.
listening to us on.
I see the analytics.
Don't know. I haven't seen them. All right, I'm gonna try to kill Venom in what is always a very haphazard and potentially not effective manner.
Okay.
So I've just written some stuff down. So we know he's like afraid of fire or whatever.
Yes.
So step number 1, throw him into the sun.
Okay.
Easy. I've also written down throw him into the moon because you're like, well, you better try all of them. You know what I mean?
Just to be sure.
Can he breathe in space?
I think Flash Thompson could breathe in space using the Venom symbiote.
He was a
They have some.
Flash was a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, here's the thing, because they use this gimmick where they're like, oh, because he's like an alien symbiote from a different planet, he can like breathe through space. But I'm like, we're from a planet that's also in space, and we cannot breathe in space.
Yeah.
So
if you think about it from that
what's the
angle, to someone else from another planet, we're the aliens from another planet. So are we able to breathe in
Exactly.
space?
Right. Just because you're from somewhere in space doesn't mean you can breathe in space. That's crazy. You know, sure, we don't know what the atmosphere is like on fucking Planet of the Symbiotes, but then you're like, well, maybe he can only breathe on Earth because he's taking over a host body.
The symbiotes even need to breathe through?
That's exactly. I'm sure the symbiote can breathe through space or live through space. But when you take the symbiote with the person out of Earth, surely the Earth rules still apply to the person.
Yeah, because the person.
Like you said, the symbiote doesn't have to breathe, but the person does.
Yeah, because then, well, and if you're doing that, most of the time the symbiote costume, like the symbiote completely engulfs the person. They have to have some method of like breathing for that person, or else that person's just going to suffocate inside of the symbiote. Because, like, for example, I like very famously, like Venom's mouth, you can like split open and you'll like see Eddie Brock's face in there, but then it closes back up, implying that like Eddie is further inside of the Venom than just outside of just like the jaws. So that being said, like that's a very excellent point. How do the people inside of the symbiote breathe?
Exactly.
Because it's like
It's
a
the
goo,
symbiote
so it's gonna be like airtight in there, you would imagine.
You would imagine so.
Every nook and
But they need.
I would say if it's got the ability to like recreate lost limbs or hold back cancer, it could probably, create oxygen for the host to breathe comfortably in space.
I feel like these are all really good points as to how fucking stupid and gimmicky the symbiotes are.
You can't argue with that.
Perfect. So throw them into the sun or the moon is what I've written down. Sun definitely effective because of the heat. We've already talked about how they're afraid of fire and shit. So that's pretty obvious. I've written down skeleton attack. I assume that speaks for itself. I've written down. This goes back to a point Corey was talking about in the weaknesses, because there was one of them that was quite like the Iron Man one was quite ill defined. You're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
I've written down a symbiote eating virus that's manufactured in some sort of laboratory. Yeah,
Like you do.
sure. Yeah. Feed him some bad chicken. That'll kill anybody.
Have you ever
Eating bad chicken?
Yeah,
Yes.
but have you had food poisoning?
No, but I have eaten bad chicken.
I have had food poisoning from bad chicken, and people react to food poisoning in one of three ways. It either is dispelled through the mouth, dispelled through the lower extremities, or through both. I am a vomit person, so if I were to be wearing the symbiote and I were to eat bad chicken, well, first off, is the symbiote eating the bad chicken, or am I eating the bad chicken, or is it all going to the same place? Like, my question is,
Again, ill-defined.
yeah, because my question is, again, like, they talk about, like, oh, you either have to eat a bunch of chocolate to sate this chemical that the symbiote is dependent upon, or human brains, because of course, it's both. And it mentioned, like, oh, you become an unwilling cannibal, but are you actually eating it? Because we just talked about how the mouth wasn't attached to the person's mouth.
The symbiote's eating it.
The symbiote's eating it. You're just there as well. You're like a passenger.
Exactly.
Questions that
So
we all
if
have.
if the symbiote eats bad chicken, it dies, but you're okay.
Yeah. So the symbiote gets food poisoning, and I'm fine. They get salmonella,
Exactly.
and I'm like walking on sunshine.
Speaking of that,
When I got food poisoning, by the way, I had a friend come by with English muffins and Gatorade to put food in and electrolytes into me. So perhaps that's what Eddie Brock would attempt to do to the Venom symbiote if it got food poisoning. It would be like, hey,
muffins.
Yeah, exactly. Here's some English muffins, or just muffins in your case, and some Gatorade.
I would conjure with this. You said your friend brought them to you.
Yes.
Eddie Brock doesn't have any friends.
But Eddie Brock's in love. Well, the symbiote's in love with Eddie Brock. We established that in the Mary Jane comic book.
You can be in love with somebody and not be their friend.
Oh boy, Dylan,
this is getting deep.
This is a conversation I feel like I've needed to have about, like, loss and letting go. You can love someone and still not be a part of their life. Like,
Corey, I'm like a therapist for you. You know what I mean?
This is like karaoke for the soul.
You gonna start crying.
I'm a lot of things. This is how I feel.
Was that in the first intro or the second intro? I don't remember.
I don't remember. We'll find out.
We'll stick it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So a lot of feelings of the show. People, this is what people don't talk. Here I've also written, just leave him in North America, and the dire governmental administration will find a way to kill him. The lettuce will give him uncontrollable diarrhea. He'll get Ebola or the Black Plague now, apparently, is a thing that I've seen. Some other disease. Or he'll get rounded up and put into a camp because he's considered to be a foreign menace, or also because he's a little too black.
Or,
I
mean, well, the symbiote's also technically genderless, so that's also a fact against it.
They don't like that either.
They don't like that.
He'll also get blamed for trying to assassinate the president or for slicing up the monumental pool or whatever. He'll get blamed for all this stuff. He's got a lot of stuff going against him that this current administration aren't fans of, and so they'll just find a way to just wipe him out. So what do you think of that one, Corey? That's some hard-hitting satire right there. Yeah. It's not even satire. I just read out the real things.
That's just
a real thing.
You mentioned the Black Plague. Tuberculosis just came back as well. That's exciting. We all love TB.
The Black Plague, I couldn't believe, because tuberculosis is a thing, but the Black Plague, I'm like, we ran that out fucking ages ago. What are we doing here?
So the Black Plague has never gone away. It's always still there, but it's just there in little small bites. It doesn't. I
don't think the Black Plague was in Florida.
No. Well, I mean, it's always there. It's not a lot of it at once, but here we are.
John, how often do you come across the Black Plague?
They're getting black lesions in the armpits and crotches.
I would say it's been about 600 years since the last time I came across it.
It's been a while for us over in the United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So, you guys, it's been so long. Well, he lives in the United Kingdom. He's got his passport, so legally
You guys have that? You don't have that problem where if you have a passport from somewhere else, they can still get mad at you?
That's Venom. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're looking at his passport and they're like, Planet of Symbiotes. What's
Mm.
that? That's suspicious,
Sounds
Sonny.
like one
Back
of
of
those
the line.
bad places.
Yeah, this sounds like
They
made
got a lot of
up.
oil, they got a lot of oil on the planet of the symbiotes? You have an oily appearance to you. I'm just curious.
Well, exactly. He looks oily, so they'll kidnap him to make him into like oil,
food.
and then have a war about him.
Yeah.
And Iran will try to bomb him or whatever.
They'll attack the planet of the symbiotes under false pretenses. No, they were gonna attack us first. We had to get the drop.
I feel like if the planet is the planet of the symbiotes, and we've seen what the symbiotes can do, I don't think it's really false pretenses. I think it's more like just if you just hack them at all, just to get rid of them. That's all right.
Mhm.
In the Guardians of the
If I'm not
Galaxy comic, the planet of the symbiotes seemed pretty chill.
It's not dope. It's made of symbiotes.
No, they all seem to just be doing fine.
It's a horrible, terrible place. There's brought nothing but pain and despair into my comic book life. This is why we're talking about this. This is exactly why we're talking about today's episode, because of the plans of symbiotes. So if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be killing anybody today. We'd be talking about hot dogs or something. It's probably hot dogs. We do that a lot.
Katy Perry.
Katy Perry eating hot dogs. I've written down a Luigi's Mansion style vacuum cleaner that sucks up the symbiote, and then you blow up the vacuum cleaner and then shoot Eddie Brock in the head. Done. That's that. There's more.
That's well. I will
good.
say that I'm glad that you brought that up because we talked about killing Eddie Brock's version of Venom. Are we just killing the symbiote, or are we also killing Eddie Brock?
Well, that one I wrote. Blow up the vacuum and then shoot Eddie Brock / whoever in the head. So just kill whoever you want. Most of this has been me trying to kill the symbiote itself, but you can kill. I figured the best way to get rid of the symbiote completely, because it always goes back to Eddie, is just kill Eddie Brock and then sweet, done. Give the symbiote so much chocolate that it gets diabetes. An option.
It's that or brains. Do you get anything negative if you eat a lot of brains?
Probably the Black Plague, which I imagine is what the problem in Florida was. Too many brains. Delicious brains. He has to fight Triple H in the main event, scene circa 2003 to 2004, which is guaranteed to get him to be buried or to at least have a dead career. So that would kill him. I think that would kill anybody dead.
Kill him professionally.
Oh yeah, he's so that counts. You said kill him. He's dead and gone. He's buried.
Yeah,
he's done.
Well, I mean, Triple H would bury him.
Huh?
Triple H would bury him. He'd kick out of his finisher at 2, and then
So I'm saying, kills his career, buries him, done. Triple H is the man, sorted. A spike through the head.
Okay.
Sure, that'll hurt anybody. Getting stung by bees, potentially Nazi bees, because we know they're the worst kinds of bees. Or wasps. Whichever one is more venomous. Get it, venomous, because he's Venom.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants, I feel you.
Okay. And that was it. That was my list. So you could choose which one you thought was the best.
So I decided to look this up because you talked about eating too much chocolate. I was like, what is there a negative side effect if you eat too many brains? So I will mind you that this is through Google search. So Google always gives you their AI overview first and foremost. And this is your asterisk that the validity of this statement could be complete bollocks. But consuming brains can cause transmissible spongiform encephalopathies, which are fatal, untreatable brain disorders triggered by abnormal proteins called prions. So primary disease is linked to eating brains. Kuru. This disease is directly tied to human cannibalism. It famously affected the 4 people of Papua New Guinea due to a ritual consumption of a deceased relative's brains. Variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Humans contract this by eating cattle brains or spinal cords infected with bovine spongiform encephalopathy, commonly known as mad cow disease. And other animal prion diseases, consuming the brains of wild game animals can theoretically pose a risk for variants like chronic wasting disease found in deer and elk. So, how prion disease affects the body: protein misfolding, brain damage, and sponge-like textures. So, Common symptoms, in case this ever happens to our friend Venom, we could be like, hey, we should probably take him to the hospital. Rapidly progressing dementia, severe loss of motor coordination, involuntary muscle jerks, difficulty speaking and swallowing, and persistent insomnia. So, there we
That
go.
sounds exactly like Donald Trump.
Yeah.
He does strike me as someone that there was like an episode of like Joe Rogan's bullshit podcast where he was like, you gotta eat, spinal cords from cows that have bad cow disease. That's how you get strong, and that's how you get better without having to go to therapy, and you do your Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and you go to the gym, and you make more money, and you eat cow disease. And Donald Trump's like, that sounds like a great idea. I'm gonna do that.
Well, he had all those babies.
That's true. And babies, very famously, have
In the
brains.
book. In his files.
Small brains.
Very small
Exactly.
ones. They're not well
Tiny
developed.
brains. Tiny spinal cords.
Tiny spinal cords.
That's why he eats a lot of them.
Yeah.
You gotta eat a lot. You can't eat like one's not enough.
No,
Mhm.
it's kind of like Pringles.
It's a little bit like Pringles. Eating children's brains is a little bit like Pringles.
Once
Or-
you pop, you just can't stop.
That's
There
the
you go.
T-shirt. That's a T-shirt. Is that the thumbnail?
I'm about to say, is the T-shirt going to say "Once you pop, you can't stop," and it's just like a picture of a baby with its head split open? Because
No, it's gonna
sounds
say-
metal as fuck.
The T-shirt's gonna say "Eating children's brains is a lot like Pringles,"
Oh, there you go.
and then the baby with a brain. Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy taxi. Anyway,
I mean, I get it.
thank you.
Anyway, what did you guys think of any of my ideas?
I will say,
There certainly was a lot of them.
I will say
Thanks.
that I'm very proud of you because you didn't mention AIDS, like we have the last couple of times. So that's a sign of growth.
We don't know that he doesn't have it.
Well, the Venom symbiote holds it back. And besides, it's not the AIDS that kills you, it's the complications that come from the AIDS that kill you.
Oh, right.
That's the
Thank you
truth.
for the clarification.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I don't know.
Most people who died of AIDS, they died from pneumonia because it weakens your immune system.
Well,
Education.
I'll remember that for next time. Yeah. Oh, wait. Pneumonia from AIDS.
Pneumonia from AIDS.
What do you think?
That's how they got Klaus Nomi. So, yes, there were a lot of ideas. I'm always happy
Thank
the bees keep coming up. I feel like the bees would not be a huge problem, but it could also see a thing. We've talked about how the Venom symbiote loves anger, and it loves being able to express it. And what could be more angry and more deadly than symbiote wasps?
Nazi wasps.
Nazi symbiote wasps.
Yeah.
So, that's that's a potential new chapter of horror from Marvel Midnight.
That's the winner out of all my really.
No,
the
I'm just
Nazi...
saying, like, that's the one that I feel like we could spin off into a series.
Okay. Interesting.
Spike in the Head's a choice because usually he would form spikes.
Yeah, just thought it'd be funny.
Like if like the Venom symbiote got confused and instead of like projecting the spike outward, it came inward.
Yeah.
Just wasn't thinking that one through, Eddie. Sorry.
Well, you got dementia from all the brains.
Got dementia from all those brains he was eating.
Happens. I heard that happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Doesn't seem like this one went as well as the other ones.
Well, I mean, like I also appreciate the fact that you didn't use sonic weapons and you didn't use heat weapons. I
used the sun.
You were creative.
Yeah.
You were very creative, and
I thought the Triple H one would be a real.
Triple H one was pretty great, actually.
Because it's true.
It's true.
You know.
I mean, also,
Absolutely
it would
would-
also, if like losing Triple H didn't bury his career, he also would have gotten a terrible cage match rating.
Oh yeah.
Like fans would just be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this was awful. I'd give it a 4 out of 10."
He's just a big, bulky dude. Well, Vince McMahon loves those guys, but it's boring.
Yeah.
Where's his moves?
He doesn't know how to do moves very well.
Just a bunch of people eating people's brains. I've seen it. Boring.
You like this is just like another 15-minute long headlock. Rest holds.
So the internet would bury him as well. Just layers, just layers.
Mm-hmm.
So
Don't let it happen in the Tokyo
I get
Dome
the-
though.
well,
It'll have the opposite effect. He'll get stronger for it.
he's not allowed. He's not allowed in because of all the crimes.
All the crimes he committed in Japan.
Well, all the crimes he's committed here, which has given him a criminal record, which means he's no longer allowed in Japan.
All right, well, John, that was Dylan's shotgun approach to killing Venom. Let's see the bludgeon and the scalpel at work here. Dylan will clobber you with a million ideas, and then John, like the skilled surgeon he is, goes in and carefully crafts and cuts apart his enemies with one very long, detailed plan.
Well, my sort of solution for killing Venom has kind of already been mentioned. So
Hit him with a car.
at this point, I'm just gonna, elaborate on the idea and get to the meat and bones of the plan, just to flesh it out a little bit. So yeah, basically, I figured we need some kind of weapon to deliver like the killer blow to Venom and kill the symbiote. And so on that front, I figured we needed to acquire Flash Thompson, aka Anti Venom, as his symbiote is sort of a different physiology to the rest of the symbiotes, where it can actually burn away and purge other symbiotes from their hosts, like upon physical contact. So first things first, we need to get our hands on Flash somehow. So I figured, why not go after his mother, Rose Thompson, who I checked is actually still alive in the comics. So we could kidnap her, hold her hostage, draw Flash in, and then bam, take him out. But obviously, I can't do this on my own. I'm going to need a crew for the job. So guess what? I am going to marry someone. And in this case, I am going to use my charms to woo and wed my old pal, Norman Osborn. So
Now, John, I will say this: I don't feel like you're having to you're making this seem like, oh, I'm having to, now I have to marry Norman Osborn. I feel if anything,
There's no other choice.
this was the slow burn romance of the various paramours you've had over your career here. Like this is the one you've been kind of building towards. Like, maybe you changed your way to work every day, so you bumped into him at the coffee shop, have a little small talk. Don't act like you're like, oh, well, because I have to kill Venom, I have to marry Norman. It's okay. You could just admit that you've been in love.
Part of it is because you want to marry him as well.
Yeah.
He's looked lonely for a long time. Like he's been a widower ever since his wife died when Harry was still a baby. So
he had that brief fling with Gwen Stacy.
It didn't.
We don't talk about that. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen. They retconned it. It didn't happen.
Yeah, it's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, but me and Norman are going to be living a happy married life where we're plotting to kill Venom. He's actually got some history with the anti-venom symbiote as well, having once engineered like this specialized toxin to kind of counter and exhaust the anti-venom symbiote's like cleansing powers back when it was attached to Eddie Brock. So I figure he's already got these like toxins that he can use, so why not use them again to subdue Flash long enough to then take him back to Norman's secret lab, and there we can conduct experiments on the anti-venom symbiote. Basically, just like removing it from Flash and then distilling it down to its most lethal form for symbiotes, making it a true poison. I figured maybe we could even, like reach out to someone like Baron Mordo or strike a deal with Mephisto to magically imbue it with hellfire or some bullshit just to kind of
I will caution you about striking a deal with Mephisto because he traditionally is not a fan of people being married, and I feel like
He's a trickster.
you don't want to lose your marriage to Norman so quickly after you started it by making a deal with
Mm.
Mephisto.
Okay, we'll go to Baron Mordo instead then.
I
That'd
was
be
about to
fine.
say, I mean,
Can I
if you could
just
choose
say,
one of your other husbands to forget the marriage of, then by all means, there's your loophole.
can I just also say real quick that I find it very adorable. The image of John and Norman Osborn doing science experiments together in the lab. That's very so romantic. It really shows just how like cute of a couple you guys are.
Norman
You know,
Osborn
working.
comes
Well,
down.
yeah.
Norman Osborn comes downstairs, in the morning. He sees John in one of his oversized work shirts making him breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Couples who do stuff together tend to stay together.
Oh
That's all
yeah,
I'm
they
gonna
do.
say.
True. It is
Oh, they
true.
do.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so we've kind of magicked this, anti-venom concoction up, which we're going to use against him. So now it's just a case of doing the deed. And for this, I figured we need like a team of lackeys. In this instance, we could call them Evil 8, because there's going to be 8 of them.
Fair. Yes.
So first up, we're going to hire the Blob,
We're gonna marry the Blob.
who no, we don't need to marry him. Good grief. I'm not
He'll just
marrying
take
that
payment.
slob.
He just takes payment.
Yeah. All we want him to do is basically eat up all the chocolate in New York City. So
Easiest
Venom
job in
doesn't
the
have
world.
any of that. Yeah, I am. He's
Done
living
and
the
done.
dream right
You're
now.
about to say you don't have to pay him. He'll do that for free.
No, exactly. There we go. Save some money. So that's the Blob's job. He's going to eat all the chocolate, so Venom doesn't have that to snack on, so it'll make him go a bit crazy. Then we're going to hire someone with fire powers, because obviously we need to kind of utilize the symbiote's weaknesses to kind of get us where we want to go. So while there's plenty of heroes who could fit that bill, like Human Torch or Sunfire, Sunspot, we'll go for
Firebird.
someone who's like a bit more evil to fit in with the Evil 8. So I figured we'd go for Pyro, who can manipulate flames, even though he can't generate it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's only got like a limited supply, but that's okay because all we're getting these guys in to do is to help corral Venom where we want him to go, rather than try and kill him with the flames. So I figured, yeah, we'd go for Pyro, maybe throw in Emo Goblin, Typhoid Mary, the Hood, who apparently has Inferno Kinesis, which you know is something to do with Hellfire, I guess. So that'll
Sure.
work.
Sure.
And then next up, we're gonna bring in Arcade to this group of degenerates.
Okay.
And we're gonna hire him to build one of his patented murder rooms, specifically one where there's no way for the symbiote to escape. Because obviously it's like, goo basically,
Yeah.
and it can like slither down into sewers or through some kind of crack in the wall or whatever. So we're going to rely on Arcade and his deadly, architectural experience to build a room which is completely impregnable and there's no escape from, basically. And then just to wrap things up, we'll get in Ulysses Claw, a guy who's basically made of living sound, and that could come in handy for what we're going to do. So since we've already got Flash Thompson captured and in our possession, I figured the old Green Goblin can threaten to throw him off the George Washington Bridge unless Venom shows up. And because the symbiote probably has some lingering connection to Flash, that'll kind of make him want to go there to rescue him. Once he arrives, then we'll send out Pyro, the Demo Goblin, Typhoid Mary, and the Hood, so they can all use their fire abilities just to, force Venom to where we want to go into this trap that we've laid for him. That'll then send him down into Arcade's specially built murder room. And that's where Claw is waiting, so he can use his Sonic Blast to keep Venom subdued. And with nowhere else to go, then the Green Goblin's going to swoop in, inject him with his synthesized anti-venom, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to cause the symbiote to burn away. And then, he'll probably just like throw a pumpkin bomb at Eddie Brock just to kill him for good measure.
He gives you the pumpkin bomb so that you can do the final blow. It's a little.
That's
romantic
quite
thing.
nice. Yeah, we'll go for that.
Yeah. So you're still involved. And now you're responsible for a man's death and Norman Osborn isn't, so
Yeah, I mean, he's just responsible for
Very
the death
clever.
of sentient goo. So, ain't no crime with that.
which doesn't mind.
Ain't no crime in that.
No.
I
I
will.
mean,
I
if he wants, he can kill Flash
Yeah.
Thompson's mum because we've still got her banging around somewhere.
Banging Flash Thompson's mom, apparently. Anyway, that's how you coerce Flash Thompson. You're like, if you don't stop, if you don't go along with this plan, we will not bang your mom anymore. No, she needs it. She's been so lonely since Dad left. Anyway, that being said, that plan actually seems like it'd be effective against Dylan as well, because you combined 3 things in one that would be the death of Dylan. You combined symbiotes, space, and magic into creating that anti-venom goo serum that I feel like just being in the same vicinity would make Dylan just fall over dead.
Okay, interesting. It's not an anti-me serum.
No, but it combines the 3 things about comics that you don't like: symbiotes, space,
I
and
feel
magic.
like I feel
I
like an
don't think I
anti-me
went to
serum
space
just
though.
The symbiote's from space, brother.
Yeah, but
Oh,
that's a tenuous link, I think.
yeah.
Tenuous? It's where it's fucking from. Be like,
Yeah, but
oh
that's
yeah,
got
my connection to West Virginia is
nothing to do
tenuous. Yeah, it's
with
where I'm
the story.
from.
It's got nothing to do with the story.
I think it's plenty to do with the story. It's where it's from.
I don't think so.
All right, fair enough. I mean, you're defending
Well,
John from killing you now, so I will let you have that.
Yeah, I think that's the bare minimum of things I can do, right?
Yeah, right. You're still gonna have to contend with the evil 8.
Yeah, which I'll be honest with you, I don't think I can fight them all.
I mean, I feel like Blob, you could stand a puncher's chance against, mainly because he's going to be so distracted by eating.
I would be upset that he ate up all the. No, you know what? I wouldn't, because American chocolate's horrible. So like, yeah, he can work
He's
away.
doing you a favor.
Really, he's just like, oh, they have to import chocolate from other good countries that know how to make chocolate.
So here's my one thought on if I were tasked with getting rid of the Venom symbiote. So the symbiote is gooey, right? It's very sticky, right?
Yeah.
That's where a lot of its power is coming from, is from its like stickiness. It sticks to people. It's able to stretch and mold itself because it's so fluid and sticky. Like it could stick to walls. The stickiness is like a major factor. You know what ruins?
I think I know where you're going with this story.
I
know where you're going with this.
Do you know what ruins
Freeze them
stickiness?
and turn them into jelly, and then have people eat the jelly.
No, actually, that's not what I was gonna do. But it's a clever idea. When you were a kid, in the UK, did you guys have the little like quarter machines outside of stores that have like little eggs with like junk toys in them?
Yeah.
Cool. Did you ever get like one of those sticky hands? Like it was like super stretchy and you could like slap it and stick to stuff. And you know what would happen is like after you had it for a couple of hours, it would inevitably get dust on it or like stray like dog or cat hair, and then it lost its stickiness and it was just kind of useless because it wouldn't really do anything at that point. That's why I think you just roll Venom around in some dirt. Just roll him in some dirt. He's not gonna be fun. Like he's just gonna be this like weird dirt covered guy. Like yeah, I can like I got big sharp teeth and all, but like you're a sensory nightmare to touch at that point.
Why didn't I think of just roll them in dirt?
Yeah, just roll him in dirt or cornstarch.
Dirt or cornstarch.
Yeah.
Both of them legal to eat in America now.
Not illegal to eat in America, just that we might have some adverse effects. Because right now,
It's illegal to eat dirt anywhere,
the
really.
big deal
You
right
can eat
now,
dirt.
the big deal right now is there are some restaurants you cannot eat vegetarian in anymore because they have started to cook everything in beef tallow instead of seed oil. So because of that, you can't eat vegetarian anywhere because everything's going to have animal byproduct in it.
Also because of the diarrhea lettuce.
Yeah, that would also do a number to you. And like I think they like recalled 12,000 pounds of bacon recently. So
You can't even eat that.
No, can't eat the bacon. Can't have lettuce.
What was wrong with the bacon? Did it give people mad cow disease?
Probably, even though it's pork.
Yeah, but the pigs were eating the spines of the
Pigs will eat anything. That's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Well, that's my second plan to kill.
We should have just
feed him to a pig.
Pigs.
Yeah, just feed him to a pig.
Yeah, feed Venom. Fuck. We should just fed Venom to a pig.
Is there any pig villains in the Marvel universe? I know there's like a pig monster from Power Rangers or Zoo
There's
Ranger.
gotta be some sort of pig thing.
Yeah, there's like there has to be like a pig guy,
Probably a pig guy.
Let me take a look. Marvel Comics pig character. Spider-Ham. Would that count? Would Spider-Ham eat him?
Well,
all right.
Pigs eat anything.
All right. Well, here's a list from Comic Vine that's just called pigs, boars, hogs, razorbacks, etc. Razorback, a pig-themed character for Marvel Comics. I mean, look at the state of this man. Let me turn the... Wait, that's way too dark. I always get the contrast wrong. Here you go.
Oh, there you go. Was he actually a pig, or is he just a guy in a pig costume?
He just looks like a dude.
He's a dude in a pig. Like, look, he's wearing Pumbaa from The Lion King.
Yeah, I don't think that counts.
All right. Well, that's just the first one. There is Porky Pig, but he's not in Marvel. Triax, an evil warthog from Marvel Comics. Oh boy, that is very bright. This is just going to turn into a sequel to our Croc episode, but just about pigs.
Apparently, there's a couple called the Boar Brothers who fought the Hulk once.
Should have eaten them.
Sir Porga, one of the new men evolved from a pig in Marvel Comics. Look at the state of this gentleman.
Oh dear, that's a kingpin.
He's my new favorite character, Sir Porga.
Just a fucking head.
Yeah, there's no this bio is just empty. That's the whole bio. It's just like he existed. He appeared in 21 issues of what?
None of us know who he is.
Thor, Scarlet Spider. Yeah. Shit.
We had a good time looking at pig creatures that anybody on Spotify or any other junk wouldn't have been able to see.
Yeah. So do you feel like we did a sufficient job killing Venom by marrying into the Osborn family and using the vast resources to create a murder room where he could be injected with a liquid, or getting stung with bees, or being rolled around in dirt?
I feel like John's story made a lot of sense. He managed to bring it around. He brought it around. It made sense. It was very comic booky, and also we got to marry somebody.
It was romantic.
So he hit like, all the points.
Ticks all the right boxes.
Yeah, I think he did a very good job with that. And it makes sense that
John would marry
Norman Osborn. He might. Well, that Norman Osborn might have some sort of either like already existing tonic to stop Venom, or has the capabilities to develop such a thing.
He's definitely thought about it. I imagine you have to. Like, if you existed in the Marvel comic universe, in the Spider-Man sphere, you do have to every now and then go, at some point, I might have to interact with Venom in a way that I'm not going to like.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Norman Osborn seems like the kind of guy that would have that available. John seems like the kind of guy that would A, marry Norman Osborn, and B, would want to take advantage of the resources Norman Osborn has available to him. So it all checks out.
So I have a question for the two of you who have now you guys have watched the Venom movies, correct? The Tom Hardy Venom movies. He has in those movies he has fought other symbiotes. How did he defeat those
Yes.
symbiotes? Because didn't
I
he?
don't remember.
I mean, didn't Carnage get hit by a car and then eaten?
Oh, that's right. He did eat
He
Carnage.
ate Carnage.
I guess he just reabsorbed him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first movie, didn't he just shoot the other symbiote up into space? Like it was on a rocket or something, and he just stuck it to the rocket, and then it burnt up when it went through the atmosphere, maybe?
I'm saying I can't do in space. Can't deal with space.
Yep. There you go.
Even though in the TV show, the animated show, doesn't the goop stick to the rocket on the way down?
I thought it did. Didn't it burn up in
Uh,
re-entry?
yeah.
No, it like John Jameson's like taking samples on the. Does it attach itself to the rocket, or does it attach itself to John Jameson?
No, Spider-Man attaches it to the rocket that goes up back into space after it's already come down
Oh,
and like
Okay.
been Venom and stuff. So that's how he gets rid of it the first time, and then it like comes back eventually through shenanigans.
okay. The rockets was the right answer. It seems like
Okay.
Yeah.
big rockets.
Get a pig on a rocket.
Way ahead of you.
There you go. That I mean, well, technically Henson was ahead of us all because of pigs in space, so he saw it coming. He was like preemptively sent those characters into space to eat the symbiotes before they could arrive on Earth.
The guy was way ahead of his time, man.
That's why he's a genius.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, speaking of the Henson Company, John, have you watched a Muppets movie recently?
I haven't, but I do have the Muppets Take Manhattan on my watch list, so probably will fairly soon.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, what have you watched recently?
Well, the most recent movie I watched was a movie by the name of Primate, which came out last year, and it's all about this domesticated chimpanzee that is bitten by a rabid mongoose and then turns homicidal, which it doesn't sound like a real movie plot, but oh man, they managed to turn it into a genuine thrill ride of a movie with lots of gore and silliness.
There was a period of time where there was a lot of movies about that in like the 70s and 80s about like experimenting on animals and then the animal gets out and bites somebody. And I remember I think it was called Primate or something like that, but it was from the 80s and I think it was a baboon that bit people and they turned into rage monsters.
Mm.
So, glad to see
In this one, they didn't. The monkey didn't actually, turn anyone else into anything. They just brutally murdered them.
chimpanzees are terrifying.
So what did you give Primate?
Yeah, what would you give Primate on Letterboxd, John?
I gave I gave it 3.5 stars out of 5.
That's pretty decent.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'd recommend it for like some good mindless fun.
Okay.
There you go. Anyway,
Okay.
so John, where can they read your further thoughts on Primate and other monkey-related movies that you may have seen?
They can head to Letterboxd and find me at Big John Bowski, or one word.
And Dylan, what have you gotten up to lately? And is it related to monkeys or crocodiles or Venom in any way?
Very little. I will say this: very little of my activities have anything to do with monkeys these days. And is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Who's to say?
Jury's out.
Obviously, the opinions of this podcast might differ. And say that I should get into more monkey activities so I can share them on the podcast, but that's for another day. I'm trying to think if I play any like monkey related music on the show yesterday. I don't think I did.
You didn't play
but
the
I have a
monkeys?
radio. No, I didn't.
Monkey Gone to Heaven.
Yeah.
I didn't play. I didn't play that. It's on the list at some point. It's a good song. Yeah, I do a radio show on Monday nights. bounce.digitalradio.co.uk. You can listen to it on your web browser. 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock UK time. We play a lot of music. Evidently, I'll be playing the Pixies very soon because of their monkey-related
Monkey-related
songs.
tracks.
Yeah, I should do a show which is all just like monkeys. I'm not gonna get too far.
And not say anything, just let people
just
work it out for themselves.
figure it out. Yeah. I stream sometimes at Spooky LaRue and I draw pictures and I animate those and put them on Twitch. No, I put them on TikTok at Team Crow Studios and YouTube at Team Crows NI. And that's it.
Okay.
I think.
There you go. Links to those all in the description of this video and the audio on the podcast platform of your choice. I have new number ones, which is the show where I read a new number one that is from a third-party publisher and give my opinions and thoughts on it. This last week, I did The Dirt Beneath the Devil, which was a Western that has a bit of a hint of supernatural happening as well. And I also have my other show, Large Old Cup, which is a good time for me, except when it's not. And I also have a third show coming out soon. I got the first batch of research back, so I sent some notes back to the person who's helping me out with it to basically clean it up a little bit and narrow it down some. And that I'll get more information on that as it comes out. But by the time this episode does come out, it might already be out, so that makes no sense. Who knows?
Ooh,
Who
secret.
knows? But yes,
Who knows?
who knows? Queens of the Stone Age know that no one knows. Anyway, that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was the
Monkey.
voice of a monkey.
Yeah.